In this video, I'll demonstrate how to perform network discovery using Linux. Now, there are plenty of tools for both Windows and Linux. Some are command line based. We'll be using the nmap command in Linux, but in both Windows and Linux, there are also graphical tools that can map your network for you. Some are free, some are not. So let's start here in Linux by typing nmap, and then I'm going to pop in the IP address of a specific host on the network. Now, given I'm putting this host address in, it means I must already know it exists and that it's up and running. But we'll talk about what to do when you don't know that already. So when I press enter, what nmap is going to do is start to show me, well, first of all, whether or not that host is up and running. Now we know that host is up and running because it's showing us open ports on that host. Now here we see a number of TCP ports that are open, and if we take a look, we'll see ports 135, 139, 443, 445, 3389, which is for remote desktop. This smells like a Windows machine, specifically a domain controller. Now, we can't be sure without further investigation, but that's what reconnaissance is about. It's about scanning one or more hosts, in this case, an entire network or multiple networks, as a starting point, which serves as a launch pad for further investigation for things that look interesting. Now, this could be used legitimately, so we can identify any weaknesses on our network, or it could be used by malicious users to pinpoint what they're going to exploit or attempt to exploit. Let's clear the screen with the clear command, and let's run nmap again, except this time I'm going to use the -O command, which allows me to do OS fingerprinting. And again, I'm going to give it a single host IP address. So I'm going to go ahead and press enter. Now, this may take a moment or two, but the idea is that it's going to take a look at open ports and also at the type of responses it gets in terms of packets to try to guess at what type of OS it is. And notice down below, it's telling me that it's probably Windows 7, Server 2012, or Windows 8.1. In fact, that machine is running Windows Server 2012 R2. So again, this is part of reconnaissance, is not only seeing what nodes are up on the network or what ports are open, which services are running, but also what operating systems are running. It's all about information. It really is power when it comes to gathering information. And that's really the first thing that happens when an attacker starts doing their homework when they've chosen a victim. And maybe in some cases that helps them choose a victim. Often attackers will go for the lowest hanging fruit. It happens. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the screen, and then I'm going to run nmap. I'm going to do a ping sweep so I can see which hosts are up and running on the network. To do that, I'll use -s, then uppercase P, and I'm going to tell it 192.168.1.0, that's my network address, /24, that's the number of bits in the subnet mask expressed in CIDR format. So basically, it's a ping sweep, and what we want to happen is each host to respond with an ICMP echo reply. Now, of course, if hosts are fully firewalled, then this is going to be an issue. We're not going to get much back. But what I'm starting to see is a list of hosts that are up and running. I am seeing some details about whether it's a VMware device or so on, and I'm also able to see the MAC address. So down at the bottom, it says nmap is done, 256 IP addresses, and out of that, 11 hosts are up and running. Again, we know now what's active on the network, and from here we might pick on some of them and do OS fingerprinting or get a list of ports that are open on those devices. In this video, we learned how to perform network discovery in Linux.